Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for hopping on this week's Tuesday Jewel Call. I'm really excited to be leading this tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about income-producing activities, IPAs, and power hours, and how that all fits in to your DMO, your daily method of operation. I'm Stacy Fraley. I'm an Emerald Ambassador, and I've got the call recorded, and I'm excited to have a few guests helping me out tonight as well. I'm going to pull up my notes so I can make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, so Alyssa and I were kind of talking, and she's like, maybe we should talk about IPAs because we have so many people that are excited and they're wanting to work and they're wanting to figure out how to do this business, but they're not quite sure what to do. So we do something called IPAs. So you see IPAs and you're like, well, what is that? An IPA is an income producing activity, but that all fits into your daily plan. And what we call that in direct sales or in network marketing is a DMO. It's our daily method of operation. So I want to show you a few different examples of a DMO and what's included in that. So let me see if I can go into screen share here. Okay. So a DMO is basically a plan for your day. The days that you're going to work, you want to have a plan. I've got like 1,000 things open here. Okay, it's one of these pages. All right, so a friend of mine shared this plan with me, and I will make sure to upload these into the file section right after. But this is a sample of a DMO, a daily method of operation, things that you want to be doing each day in your business. This is just a sample. I was actually on a power hour last night with Deborah McCutcheon, one of our Diamond Uplines, and she had something very, very similar. You might see different variations of this, but basically there are things that you want to do every day that you're working your business. So you'll see there's different components to it. There's reaching out to new contacts, which is an income producing activity. There's some things on this checklist which aren't necessarily income producing, like saying your affirmations, going over your goals, thinking about what things you're grateful for. But there's a whole bunch of different parts to this. So I'm just gonna scroll through this. And like I said, I'll upload it later. Oh, I don't know how I did that. Personal growth is also included in your daily method of operation. So there's something called a Plexus Perfect Day, and Angela actually made this graphic. It's based on Helen McFadden's Perfect Plexus Day, where there are different parts of your day. And this, again, is just a sample of how you might break down your day. How I might break down my day might be different than yours. If I'm doing this full time and I'm home during the days, my time might be different than yours. So you need to just kind of make adjustments, figure out how much time you need to make. But basically, in Helen's plan, she does her affirmations. She does productive social media posting. She reaches out to her team, and she does self-development. So if you look back at that DMO sheet, which I probably lost now. Let's see if I can find it again. And I think I lost it. Let me close out of that. But I'll go back and share that afterwards. But basically, there's different parts of that. And I have a DMO sheet. So when I go through, I want to make sure that I'm covering the different things. So like my affirmations, reviewing my goals, and things like training videos and reading. That's part of things that I should be doing each day, but it's not income producing. So what's income producing then? So income producing activities, or IPA, are doing different things like posting on social media, making sure you have a social media presence, expanding your network, friending new people, maybe joining groups, cold messaging or reaching out to potential people. And I know everybody has a different way of going about this. Some of us like to build relationships first, which can be part of your income producing activities as well. Some of us send a whole bunch of messages each day. So whatever is the right thing for you, and you're going to probably have to try a whole bunch of different things to figure out what's right for you. In my income producing activities, I kind of break it down into different chunks like this, messaging 3 to 5 new people, sending messages to people I recently friended. I have something that's like a drip list that I go through, and those are the people that are maybe potential customers, and I want to make sure I interact with those people. That could be something that's considered an income producing activity. You could have a one-on-one meeting with somebody. You could go out to lunch with somebody or coffee. You could do a Zoom with potential. You could invite people to online events. While you're out in the store, you could be wearing your Plexus shirt and make sure you hand out some business cards. All of those are income producing activities. So what's not an income producing activity? Well, scrolling Facebook without a purpose is not income producing. Now, while you might be doing some scrolling to work your business and reaching out and expanding your network, joining groups and things like that, those are income producing, but just sitting there aimlessly and scrolling through your Facebook, that's not necessarily income producing. Videos, trainings, things like that, those are not income producing. Those are really important for your daily method of operation, but they're not necessarily directly correlated to bringing you in income. Books and personal development, things like that, those should be part of your daily method of operation, but not, again, necessarily income producing. Scrolling team pages, looking at information there, that's part of your day, but not income producing. Making graphics, all those fun things that you really want to do aren't necessarily the things that are going to bring you income. So what a lot of us have been doing is something called power hours. You saw it last month. Plexus Corporate actually did a whole bunch on this. There was a video shared. Jill Renfro did a great video on what a power hour is, and corporate did a whole incentive last month to get people to do power hours. So basically in a power hour, you spend an hour, whatever time you have, and you just do those income producing activities. So about a month or two ago, Anne Marie started doing power hours in her team page, and I joined with her last month in doing these power hours, and I wanted her to share kind of what the power hours are, how they came about, and how they've been working for us. So Anne Marie, do you want to unmute yourself and share about that?
Yep. So I was on a coaching call with my corporate coach, I think it may have been July or August, and he had mentioned to me that a lot of teams were doing, he called it an IPA Zoom. It's where you get on Zoom with your team, whoever wants to join in, and it's an hour dedicated to working income producing activities. So I started doing those with my team, and then in September, they introduced the Power Up, I believe it was called in September. And Stacy and I joined together and started doing them with our teams and just offering different times where we offer these power hours on Zoom, and it's an hour dedicated to your action stack. So I have my action stack similar to what Stacy showed you. I have this here, and it's kind of a combination of the DMOs and IPAs all together, because it has my check off for affirmations, it has my, watching videos, reading a book, that type of stuff is on here. But it also has things like friending 3 people on Facebook, wishing friends a happy birthday, contacting new people, your follow-up. And so what we've done is we break the hour up into chunks of time. And we set a timer, and we'll share some tips in the beginning, and we'll say, okay, now we're going to spend, 10 minutes, and we're going to, friend 3 to 5 people on Facebook. And we'll go over some tips on how we go about looking for new people to friend, because a lot of times people are new to this and they need some suggestions. And then next we'll go to, reaching out to 5 new people, relationship building, sending cold messages, and we'll set a timer. It can be broken up in different ways, and I'll share with you the sheet that Logan had shared with me that they're doing on the corporate Zooms, which for the power hours. Let me jump to that. And what they do is they break it up into 15-minute chunks of time. So they have time either before or after, like an additional 15 minutes where they can answer questions, share what's working for you. So they'll spend 15 minutes on new contacts, reaching out to new people, and then 15 minutes on follow-up. And it's following up with potentials, customers, or that's following up with potentials. Sorry, at the bottom is your team activity, and that's going to be your follow-up with 2 customers, 2 active ambassadors and 2 inactives. And then they have little challenges at the bottom, and that's, joining a Facebook group, researching 3 ingredients in the products, joining a team power hour, sharing your testimony. So there's different things that you can do that may not be income producing, but it's going to help you, learn more and build your business. Let me unshare that. But what we found is people are finding it's more productive. You have the accountability. It's nice to be able to bounce things off of each other. and say, hey, I'm messaging this person. What do you think would be the best thing to send? So that's a little about that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's worked really, really well, kind of working together and doing these power hours. We joined in the corporate Plexus power hours. Deborah had some power hours that we joined in as well, just having a variety of different people doing it. And that accountability is huge. Sometimes you need somebody there with you to say, okay, this is what we're doing next. This is what we're doing next, and set that timer for you. But it's definitely something you guys can do on your own too, or find some people to do this with. So I was going to ask Angela to share too. Angela's been doing a lot of the power hours, and I think you won something from corporate from participating in this too, right, Ange? And I think you need to unmute too. I'm not sure where you are. Let's see.
Okay. I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on my phone. My home internet went out like right when I was trying to get on the Zoom, so I'm on my phone. Yes. So I won like a little set of business desk items from corporate for participating in power hours. It's been really fun. They've been doing a lot of interactive posts where you say what you're doing, and then there's a drawing for something. So that was kind of cool because I never thought I would just win something from corporate. So that was pretty fun. And I'm a teacher, so I'm just in the back to school grind, like getting back used to my normal schedule. And what I really like to do for IPA is that Perfect Plexus Day that Helen McFadden, that Stacy showed the graphic that I made about that, because that is what I would really ideally like to be doing. And the truth of the matter is that takes a couple of hours. And at the beginning of the school year, that is hard to be trying to squeeze in a couple of hours every day or every other day. So I have really enjoyed getting on the team power hours, because it has been a way that I can block out a period of time that I'm going to work. And as a matter of fact, it's really easy for me to say to my husband or my family, I have a call at 9 o'clock, because they're used to me saying I have a call at 9 o'clock. And yes, it's for an hour and I'm working the whole time. So for me, it's been a really great way to, set aside the time, to have some accountability, to be able to share with teammates and show people in my downline how I work. And be able to bounce ideas off of each other. And it's kind of like having a gym buddy, getting on these power hours. Like, we're all more likely to go work out if you have to meet somebody at a certain time at the gym. It works the same way with your business. I think if you have to go get online, or you said you were going to be there online, that accountability just makes a huge difference in getting your work done. It's a little easier for me to ignore the laundry if I know I have to be online at a certain time. So that's really how the power hours have been helping me, and I like them enough that I want to keep doing them. So I'm looking forward to my team continuing this month.
Yeah. Okay. And to answer, Tara just asked a question about like, how do you get involved in this? So there is an ambassador support page. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Plexus Communities. Somebody's going to help me out with the name of it. But they started with the jewels. They added the jewels, and they added rubies, senior rubies, and they are down to gold right now. And the goal from corporate is to add all ambassadors. So they're just, going gradually through the process and inviting people to participate in this support group, where they are giving us training, they're giving us tools and things like that. And one of their incentives last month was the Plexus the September Power Up, whatever it was. So they offered corporate calls, and then some of us that are doing our own groups, shared those Zoom calls, and anybody was able to get on. Actually, Cindy, that's on my team, is a silver ambassador, and I know she was able to get on some of those, and she actually won a prize too. So it's something that you guys can do though on your own. There's that format, and we'll definitely share. Anne-Marie will share that graphic, and we'll share all of these so that you guys can be doing it too. It's just great to have, like Angela said, like kind of like a gym buddy, having that accountability there. And I think it's also just really important too to set the time aside, set your timer, clear your desk, clear yourself of distraction whenever you do decide to sit down and do your IPAs, that there's nothing else you're going to do. You're not going to answer your text messages if it's not income producing. You're not going to be doing your laundry. You're not going to be, cooking dinner or anything like that. Not that I'm cooking dinner, right? But you're not going to be doing any of that kind of stuff. You're just going to be focused. And I wanted Melanie to also share. So Melanie is the Silver Ambassador on my team, and she's been doing these too. Melanie, will you unmute yourself and tell what you've gotten out of the Power Hours?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got it.
All right, awesome. I've done a couple Power Hours. I do work 40 hours a week, sometimes more. But I realized that setting the time specifically on the calendar is great for accountability, just as everybody's been saying. But the thing is that it's focused. So, and I also like that everybody's involved. You know, you've got your diamond, and then we've got, you ran one that I joined in. And everybody that's there is all different ranks. So everybody's got different ideas. When you're cold messaging specifically, you know, what do you say? So it's nice to talk to everybody and say, does this work? Yeah, it worked. And this is actually the response I got. So I do enjoy that. I also like well, I guess that's the accountability is the biggest component, but I do like the group fact and that everybody is involved in every level. And that's probably my favorite part. And I also like that it was split up in a couple different ways, because you run one way and Deborah ran hers kind of a different way. So just a kind of good way to split things up. But what I did realize is that you need to be kind of prepared before that hour. Grab that Frank's list, grab your friends list, kind of know who you're going to talk to as far as, you know, your cold messages, your follow-ups and things like that. But I think it's great. I'll join when I can. And it actually does. It works.
Yeah. Thanks, Melanie. Yeah,
Thanks.
I'm glad that you mentioned that too, being prepared. So what I usually do is I print out a whole bunch of action stacks. What we've talked about action stacks before, and I know they're in the files of LPL. There are so many different formats. I've actually at one point made one for myself, which is basically the same thing as a DMO. And I go through and put all the things that I need on my checklist, but I'll work ahead and I'll print out several. So if I contact somebody today or I friend them today, in a few days, what my job is to put it on that action stack or that checklist, so I know to follow back up with them. All the people that I contacted last night, I put them on an action stack, you know, one of these sheets going forward, so I don't forget to go and check on them. But having that list kind of prepared and ready to go, you know, set the time aside so that you can work, because otherwise what you're going to find is during that power hour, you're going to be scrounging around trying to figure out where's my Frank's list? Where's the list of people I need to follow up with? Where's my customer list? Have it all set and ready and organized so that you can be really, really productive in that hour. So you don't have to join the Plexus Ambassador community. You don't have to do a power hour like this. This is just some ideas for you. But what I would say is it's really important to have accountability, whatever way that is. For me, that works in doing groups and chats and things like that. You guys might want to plug in, though, to the chat thread that we have. Find some people in there that you really relate to. Build relationships with those people. That's how I've gotten to do this over the years, is finding people that I'm connected to, finding people that have the same goals in mind, that are goal-oriented, that we work well together. Form a friendship, form a relationship with those people that are kind of in the same boat as you are. Send them a message and say, hey, I want to do a power hour. Do you want to team up and do one? Anne-Marie and I have been working together a lot pretty much this whole year and as a power partners and going back and forth and bouncing ideas off of each other. And that's been really helpful for me to have, you know, somebody to bounce ideas off of and to have that accountability set. So I'd encourage you guys to do that. If you haven't, you know, kind of made some sideline friends, go find some sideline friends. We have a lot of resources out there. So the last part I wanted to talk about, and part of your DMO, is educating yourself. So one of the tasks usually on there is doing a training video, doing reading, things like that. We have a ton of resources provided for us from Plexus that I think a lot of us forget about and we don't use. So I want to just remind you about some of the resources that we have. And I should have pulled this up. Let me see if I can do that in a second. In our back office, we have Success on Demand, which is a series of videos and articles and things like that from Success Magazine that you guys, huge wealth of knowledge there that you can go in. It's something that's provided for us free from corporate. They launched that, I think, a year ago now, and they've revised it recently as well. We have the Rank Up Roadmap, which is huge. We now have it for Silver Ambassadors, so if you're brand new, and even if you're not brand new, you should be going into that Rank Up Roadmap. You should be going through the different tasks there and figuring out, okay, what haven't I done? What can I be doing? Those can help you with ideas for what to do during your power hour, during your IPA time. The success guide that you got when you signed up, there's now a digital form for that. So if you signed up a long time ago and you haven't gone through it, go through the digital copy that's also now available. And one of the things too that's written on our DMO is thinking about your goals. Now we do all these activities, but if you're just kind of doing them and going through the motions, it's not going to work very well for you. You need to be setting goals, writing them down, and revisiting them frequently. What I like to do is every Sunday night, go through and figure out, okay, what's my plan for the week? I go through with my planner. I go through and I block out the chunks of time where I know I have school activities, or I've got things that are going on at home, or I've got travel, and I look to see where I have chunks of time, and I plug in the times that I know I can work my business, that I can do my income producing activities. So planning ahead is really going to help you be successful. You should also be checking at the end of the month, seeing how you did that month. Did you meet your goals that you set at the beginning of the month? What do you still need to work on? Are you happy with the pace of your business? Are you happy with the way things turned out? What do you still need to work on? So at the end of the month too, reflect, write down what you did well, write down what you need to improve on, and then start planning ahead for the month that's coming. So right now, what's today? The 26th. We've got a few more days in this month. So the next few days would be a good time for you guys to think about that. What are you doing? What are you going to do? What's coming up ahead? Sarah Taylor shared something the other night, and I'll post a lot of this information too. I'll start a thread in the LPL page about what to do on the Sunday night plans, which is a great idea. I will share the video that Jill Renfro did for corporate about what a power hour should look like. But if you use these resources, like dig in, go see what we have, because we really have a lot of tools out there. What I did when I first got started, and I still do a lot, is I just go to YouTube. I have certain diamonds I follow, or I typed in like IPA plexus, and I watched some videos. So if you want to get some new ideas, you're not quite sure, you need more information, go take the time and do that as part of your personal growth. Use those resources that we have, and use the team, all these people that we have to help you guys with support. And really what it comes down to is consistent daily activity. Doing something every day. Your day might not be the same as my day. You might not have that whole perfect plexus day. You might not have that 60 minutes hour every day, but look where you do have time and make the best use of that time. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to check the chat, make sure I didn't forget anything. Thank you, Julie, for answering. It's Plexus Ambassador Community. So if you are a gold or above ambassador for now, silver will be added soon. You can definitely do that. And yeah, if you're not following the coaches, and follow Plexus Worldwide's Facebook page, that's a great place to look as well. Anybody have any questions or comments that I missed? All right, well, I will put up the recording, and below that I will put up some action stack, DMO sheets, the perfect plexus day, in that video as well to share with you. I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
You have a question.
Yeah, hey, Sherry.
You keep talking about a chat thread, and I tried to even get Kathy. She wasn't quite sure what it was or where you went into it.
Okay, so there are rank chat threads that we have in LPL. There's probably a silver one, a silver bound, I can't even remember now for sure.
What you said, because I didn't have my earphone.
Yeah, we've got different chat threads for our Live in the Pink Life team. There's a gold, senior gold chat thread where you can be added to that chat thread. Now it's chats all day long, asking questions, kind of going back and forth, but that's a good place to ask questions, get information from people that are right around the same rank as you. There's also a Ruby, senior Ruby thread, and then there's a few other threads as well. It's a chat on Facebook Messenger. If you're not in one of those chats and you want to be added, ask your upline to be added to the group chat. I will tell you there's a lot of back and forth all day. Try not to get yourself distracted with that. I know some people will sit all day long in chat threads. Like, I'm in so many, I have to mute them all. And I know when I can, it can be a big, big distraction for me. And just know that that's not income producing for you to go in and answer questions all day long and just scroll through there. But it is a good place for you to make connections and see, okay, this person's really working with this person really knows their information. I want to be friends with that person and I want to make a connection. So I will check and see about a silver thread for you, Sherry, and add you there.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Hey, yeah.
Sorry, Kim.
Can you hear me?
Is it Elaine or there's somebody else talking? I can't see who it is.
Elaine and Kim, both of us talked at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I answer her question about the silver thread really quick?
Yeah.
There
Thanks.
isn't a silver thread.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Corinne, when I asked her about it, because one of my newbies wanted to know, she said that we're just supposed to work with them on our own, and then once they get past, like about Pandora's, when she adds them to the Gold Senior Bound group, because it's too overwhelming for new ambassadors.
It is overwhelming. Yeah, it is really, really overwhelming for anybody that's new to know how to kind of separate that out.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Elaine.
You're welcome.
Hey, Kim, what's up?
That was my question.
Oh, okay.
Where do we put our silvers?
Okay. Yeah, and I would talk to somebody before you add them to a chat thread. Talk to them and say, hey, well, there's going to be a lot of stuff going back and forth. It can be a really good tool to use, but you have to know how to separate yourself out and make sure it's the right thing for you right then.
Because a lot of people end up just removing themselves because there's so much going on and there's so many questions and a lot of things have already been answered. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's too much for people too fast.
Right. And so use the team page too. Use the search in the team page to do some searching there too, because it can be very overwhelming with all that information back and forth. I would use it more to like build friendships and figure out, okay, well, this Elaine's always, busy and I know she knows the answers. I want to partner up with her. She'd be a great power partner. So that's what I would do with it. All right. Well, thank you guys for being on. I hope you guys have a great night and we'll see you next week.